So I'm just going to say this. Welcome to the show. Welcome to all of you out there tuning into the show. I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari. You're here, doctor. And today we're talking about wigs and we're talking
All
about
of you out there
uh-oh.
tuning into the show.
Wait a minute.
I'm Trichologist Lisa
I think
Akbari.
that I
You're
just
here,
went
doctor.
live, guys.
And today we're talking
I'm so
about
sorry.
wigs and we're talking
it's
all of
kind
you
of one
out
of these
there
things that
tuning into the show.
wait a minute.
I'm Trichologist Lisa
I think that I
You're
just
here,
went
doctor.
live. Okay. Now, this is one of those days when you're recording and you're thinking, wow, I could have done this a little bit better because I'm live on the radio and people are wondering what she's doing. But listen, we had a good conversation about wigs. I know we did. So I'm excited about that. But I want to just kind of talk to you guys some more about it. Let's kind of sum up with wigs because the folks that were tuning in to me live did not get to hear it. So if you're just tuning in for the very first time, welcome to the show. And I thank you so much for tuning in. I'm here every week right here live in the WDIA studios with iHeartRadio. And I'm just so thankful to be here. I don't have my sign behind me again. Those of you who are just logging in online and you're wondering what's going on, I'm here. I've been on for about 30 minutes, but I was not live, so I do apologize for that. But those of you on the radio, you heard everything I said about wigs, but we're going to do a recap about it because this breakdown of wigs, I mean, this is a huge and a big deal for a lot of folks. So we want to make sure that we're really, really, really tuning in and we're really making sure that people are able to really tune in and hear what I have to say. So guys, I do apologize about all of my technology problems that I'm having today. Okay, so we talked about celebrity wigs. We know that this is a great opportunity and a huge ability for people to transform instantly into a certain look. That's why celebrities really, this is like their staple. They run to. They can get up, go. Well, the average individual, the average female is doing the same thing. Okay. Technology is very advanced now. So people are using the lace front wigs. They have all the colors to it. But let's talk about the breakdown in the price. Celebrity wigs can range anywhere from $100 to $8,000. That was like the highest piece that I found in our research. It's something. So we just talked about how you need to care for your hair under the wig. You want to make sure that you're no longer using the lace front that causes, allows, or requires you to use the adhesive, because that's a problem that can be problematic. You want to make sure that if you're going to use the wigs, you want to make sure that you're protecting your hair and scalp underneath the wigs. And just so I kind of rush through that lace front piece, the lace front, you have to make sure that you are not using the adhesive, because that adhesive, when you take the wig off, it can actually pull your skin and it can cause you to lose your hairline permanently, and it could cause a serious skin infection. So be careful with that. And it causes scarring, and we've got some celebrities online. All you have to do is like Google lace front wigs and celebrities who've lost hair, something like that, maybe a little shorter, but you will see. So this is what you do. If you're going to have someone make a wig, make sure that if they use any kind of covering underneath it, do not use the stocking cap and glue it. Don't do it. One, it doesn't hold together as well. And two, that glue gets in your hair. So you want to make sure they're not using the stocking cap. And three, that stocking cap will cause friction and traction because it hugs the head too much. If you're going to use wear a regular wig, then you want to make sure you take the band that's in there, the hooks in the back, take that out, because that band will cause friction and traction as well. So you got to be really careful with that one. Is going back to the wigs that they make sure that you can get your stylist, as I said earlier in the show, and those online didn't hear me, you can get them to go to like the fabric stores and get like a smooth, shiny swimsuit fabric, because it has stretch to it, and it also is going to be smooth. So that's perfect. So that's what you make them with, that fabric, if they're going to make them, and make sure that they're putting the little rubber clips, the clips they go on the inside that snap ends, the balls on the ends, to make sure that that's how they attach them. Don't use any bobby hairpins. You can use bobby pins, the ones that close, kind of really close, but you just want to be careful, because you can really have a problem with, and hi Sonia, and I think it's Shannon that tuned in. Hi, welcome to the show. But anyway, so you can use those things. So it's really important, but it's important that you take care of your hair under wig as well. It's important how you make it, but it's important how you take care of your hair. Now, if you're going to wear a wig, and this is a big deal, and we're not going to stay on wigs for the rest of the show, but I want to say this: take care of your hair underneath. Wear a protective turban under it, and you can email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com, and I can send you a picture of one, or I can send you one. And if you email me, I'll do that. And then you want to take care of your hair. You want to shampoo, deep condition it, put your leave-in conditioner on. Make sure that you are putting your moisturizer on, oil your scalp, oil your strands, plait. Put the protective turban on, wear your wig. Do that every 3 to 7 days, so you can take care of your hair. So when you come out of that wig, you will, for hair, you won't have hair that's been broken, dried, matted, itchy scalp, problems like that. Patients of mine have to wear them all the time. Like I said, it's like a cast on a broken leg. Okay, all right, let's talk about another thing that we talked about. I saw, I think it was on Ebony or Jet.com. Let's see, what was this on? And we were talking about, oh, no, I want to talk about this first. Well, let's see, wait a minute, let's see. This protein. Let's talk about that first, and then we're going to go back to one of the bloggers, because as I told you, I like to see what the bloggers are talking about, especially these folks who, whether organic or they purchased them, have these 200 subscribers. It's kind of crazy. I just mind-boggling. But anyways, let's talk about protein, because you have a lot of people that say that I'm protein sensitive. I'm protein sensitive. Well, most of us are not protein sensitive. So usually we've got a situation where you're not balanced. So let's see what they're saying on ebony.com about protein. One of the things that I'm seeing on these articles is that they're saying, and I'm your hair doctor. Remember, I'm the trichologist. I'm the expert. I'm the guru. I'm the one that's viewing strands under the microscope, yada, 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 whatever. Well, I do have an opinion. And part of what I like to do is share what I've been blessed with. And because I look at hair from a standpoint, if there's such a way, then I'm looking at it differently. I'm looking at our hair and saying, what holds our hair together, and what does our hair really need to look alive? Because let's face it, guys, hair is basically dead keratinized cells, protein. And once it emerges, your hair emerges from your follicle, that hair is pretty much dead. So strands, they're seeing the strands on struggle, protein treatments, tips for relaxed hair, for natural hair. Okay, well, a lot of times these articles will say things that this based on their limited knowledge, and I just have to say it. And this is not a negative; it's just the truth. Okay, so here you have the situation where you have some of these folks who are writing these articles believing that protein can weaken your hair. Now, there are some good things they're saying, but when they say you shouldn't put protein on your hair after relaxer, that's simply not true. The hair is basically dead keratinized cells, and when you relax your hair, or if you have kinky hair and you wear like bleach or color, because a lot of folks who have kinky, they call it natural hair. If you're putting any chemical like color on it, it's no longer natural. It's not relaxed, but it's no longer natural. So you have the needs that a person with relaxed hair will have. You just do. Okay, guys? So remember that. So what you want to do when they talk about protein sensitive, they're talking about two things. One, there's some people are saying that if you use too much protein, your hair is you're allergic or you're sensitive to it. It's not that, it's just that you're not balanced. So this is what you want to do. You want to make sure that you're applying the protein, but you want to have moisture with that because you have a balance. There's a delicate protein and moisture level that absolutely must stay balanced within our hair shaft. And if that protein and moisture level is not balanced within our hair shaft, then we're going to have weak hair, dry hair. We need the protein to strengthen our hair. After we relaxed our hair, or if you have natural kinky hair, after you bleached your hair or colored your hair, you're going to have to put that protein back, because what you've done is you've basically taken this keratinized cell and you've pretty much have broken the bonds down in a way that's caused the chains within the shaft to become weak. So you need that protein to help rebuild and protect it. Really, I'm going to say protect and preserve, because that sounds better, because it's just dead keratinized cells. Second, you need the moisture, because if you use moist protein only, it is going to dehydrate. It is going to dry up. The moisture is going to help to balance it. Hair is mostly 88 to 90 plus percent. And there's the reason I hesitated in that number is because there's a lot of debate whether or not researchers who determine how much protein is in this dead keratinized cell. See, as the hair grows through your follicle, which is the live portion, it does something called keratinization. So as it fills up with this keratin protein, it forms the hair, and that's what makes it form the hair. And as it emerges, it's just a dead keratinized cells, and it has to have moisture to balance, or it would just crack and break. So it's important to deep condition after your relaxer, deep condition after your color if you're wearing permanent hair color, and you absolutely must have protein and moisture. You have to sit in the dryer with your conditioner 15 minutes, then go back. Have you ever looked at your conditioner after you've conditioned your hair and it looked like it just absorbed? Well, that meant you needed more. So you go back and do something I call plussing. So you put more conditioner on, and after you put that more conditioner on, you put the plastic cap back on, you sit back under that warm dryer for another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, that's going to be really, really important. And you do that until you stop absorbing the conditioner. And once you stop absorbing the conditioner, then you're good. You're good to go. And then you can start to rinse it. And you have to do that every time you are deep conditioning your hair. Every time you're getting these chemicals, whether you wear natural hair or whatever you do, you have to be really careful, guys, because if you don't, you're going to end up with dry, weak hair. So this article that we found on ebony.com, it's some good stuff in here, but then the things that we have to keep in mind is that you need the protein. You know, they said protein treatments leave hair stiff and hard, and that's where people think that they are allergic to it, and isn't. So this would be an adverse effect. And they said this happens with freshly relaxed tresses. Instead of moisture, you need moisturizing treatments, but you need both. Okay, keep that in mind, and try to find your conditioners that say deep penetrating protein and moisture. If you do that, then you're not going to have as many problems with the dryness on your hair. Okay, now, so it's really important. All right, so we have the info on the protein conditioners. All right, here's something else I want to talk about as we start to wrap up the show. And I know you guys came on live late. That was technology stuff. Ooh, but you'll get to hear the show live this Sunday if you are in local, or my show is national. It's right here in the iHeart Radio in the WDI studios here in Memphis, Tennessee. But you can hear me anywhere in the world, actually. So it's an international show because of iHeart. So you can download and tell your friends to download their either free iHeart app so that you can tune in to hear me anytime. And of course, I do archive my shows. Now, for my chat room, let's see, do we have any questions? Okay, guys, if you have a question for me, I see you guys loading up. If you have a question for me, let me know, and I will come right to you. talk about this dreadlocks or locks. I think it's not correct to call them dreads. And you know, only because it's just like people calling our hair nappy. Oof, I said the N word, a nickel in the bowl for every time someone says nappy. But I think that locks are a beautiful expression. And I think that it's kind of a good thing that may be going bad. And it will never go away because it will never go away. I mean, people rock locks and it's just beautiful expression and they're just going to do it. And I think that's great, outstanding. Here's the deal. You got to take care of them, guys. It is a low maintenance, not zero maintenance style. I have patients who wear locks and they have all kinds of problems with their locks because they're poor care. Poor care. And there's some folks who've been wearing their locks and they take care of their locks and they do really well. But there are some folks who just are not doing well at all. One, by the time you come and see a trichologist such as myself, you are probably suffering with alopecia, some type of baldness, in other words. So the people who are having problems and struggling with their locks, many of them are suffering from alopecia. They have, whether it's stress from the lock, and a lot of the locks, like the sister locks, were really popular for a while, and they still are popular. They are sometimes too tight to the scalp, and sometimes the traditional locks, they are too heavy, and they're putting stress on the scalp, so it causes something called traction alopecia. Traction alopecia leads to, especially in the crown area, it leads to inflammation of the follicle, and then it leads to scarring, which leads to permanent balding. So you really have to be careful. So with that being said, you can wear locks, but they're not zero maintenance. So how they're locked, no tension on the scalp. You just want the lock nice and neat, hanging nice and neat. And then you want them clean, because what I find also with patients, I find these blockages around the mouth of their follicle because their locks are not clean. So they're not cleaning them, and many of you do. So don't email me saying, I clean my locks. Okay, great. Yay. I'm glad you do. But there are a lot of people who don't. They think of locks as zero maintenance. They just wear it naturally and let the nature come into their scalp and hair and whatever. But those three categories of pollutants, which are dead skin cells, we all get them because we shed every day on our body. Scalp is in skin, so we're shedding and our hair is trapping that. And then you have cosmetic pollutants, different things that you put on your hair to freshen up your locks or whatever you're doing. And then you have environmental pollutants, and that's the biggie. Dust, dirt, and debris. And locks are a trap for that, because the locks, and when I look at locks under the microscope, what I find a lot of times, and it's not just locks, it's other hair, natural hair and women with relaxed hair, I find, but with locks is special because locks, you don't really take them down. And that's, by the way, how you get that length. Everything is there. The hair bulb, when the hair sheds off, it just sits in the lock. When dust, dirt, and debris is in the air, flies near your locks, it's in the lock. So all of these things are there. And I know many of you now, and I'm so happy to see this, and I've been in this industry for a lot of years. I'm happy to see that many of you now are doing better with cleaning, but so many are still not. So I thought it was important for me to talk about this today and talk about this, fix the locks in those thinning areas. But I want to talk about your foundation. That's what I'm trying to do now, is just lay that foundation. So if you will care for your locks properly, shampooing them inside of 7 days, you got to do it, guys. Lots of rinsing with the water, starting at warm as you can stand it. If you have really long locks, try to lean them over into the sink and turn the water on and just really let that, well, you can't feel it. So just don't touch your scalp, but really literally scald those locks and then shampoo them. And then you can and make sure you cool them off, because they're going to hold that heat. If you sit up, you're going to burn yourself. But you need to really scald those locks and get that, soak them and allow that to get, especially the super long locks, that debris, and then put your clarifier on it so that it picks and lifts up that debris, and then just spray them with that sprayer in the sink. And I don't tell people to get in the sink with shampooing because they can't really shampoo their scalp the way they should. So afterwards, then you're ready to jump in the shower and finish everything else. But at least those locks that are down and that ends of the debris, down at the ends of those locks and in the body of those locks, they are clean. Tuning in for the very first time, I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and we're here live in the WDI studios at iHeartRadio, and we're here talking about hair. And we have not abandoned our cyber, and I kind of miss these guys, my cyber hair discussion, but I had so many questions and I had some wonderful articles, and I wanted to kind of get that in today. So if you want to join our cyber roundtable hair discussion about how Black women are struggling with their hair, please email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com, so that I can get you hooked up and make sure that you're included in our roundtable discussion. So, talking about locks right now. We're talking about locks. So if you have a question for me, you can chat that question in, and I will be happy to answer that question for you. So, all right. So let's get back to the locks. Now, as I was saying, was relating to the locks, as I was saying, we have a situation where people are now wearing them and they're not caring for them. So the shampooing and conditioning is crucial. Making sure you put conditioner on, allowing the conditioner to sit. And if you have weak spots that are developing on your locks, make sure that you are actually conditioning under the dryer. You need to deep condition those locks. It's still dead keratinized cells, and you need to deep condition it to make sure that your locks are still looking good and that your locks are still really doing well. I mean, that your locks are staying healthy and you're not having these problems that this young lady is trying to fix. This blogger I have in my research pile, she was talking about the fixing your dreadlocks fast, the thin locks, and how to get those locks together. And she's got like 170,000 views on this page. So this is a pretty big deal. And she has on one page, and I think another one, oh yeah, that was the other one about the hair breaking with protein. We talked about that already. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, I mean, you just need to take care of your locks. And when you do take care of your locks, you're not going to have as many problems with your hair breaking or those thin spots. Now, what is she doing with the thin spots? But before we do that, we want to talk about what do you do on a daily basis. You know you're going to shampoo inside of a week. You know you're going to condition your hair. You can use the instant for 60 seconds or get under the dryer if you have weak locks. And you want to do that just like the plussing I mentioned earlier, putting the conditioner on, leaving it on for 10 to 15 minutes, and then continue to reapply it until your locks stop absorbing it. And then you want to wrap your head up with a towel and making sure that you have get all that excess water out. And then just kind of walk around, dry off, do some other things, get dressed. And before you take that towel off, that way you've got all that excess water off, because it can get really messy if you're not careful. Then you want to put your leave-in conditioner on. You want to put on your leave-in hair vitamin. I have a program for locks on my website, lisaakbari.com. If you need that program, I'm ready to get it out to you. And then you want to put your moisturizer on. And I know you folks with the baby locks or the ones who just started locking their hair, you don't like to use moisturizers, but let's face it, guys, your hair is going to need to be hydrated. So what you do, you put a small amount in your hand, and then you start to twist as you put the moisture on. So you're not untwisting it, you're just putting it on. And the clarifying shampoo, wearers of locks love it, because they said, oh, this is a great opportunity. I can wear my locks and I don't have to worry about them unraveling, because you're so afraid of these conditioning shampoos. But conditioning shampoos are bad for you anyway. Whole nother chapter, whole nother show. All right, so but back to the locks. So you just want to do it on a daily basis. You want to use your you want to, excuse me, use your leave-in conditioners, your moisturizers, and then seal it with oil. It's the same, guys. But if you have baby locks and you're really afraid, you can use your leave-in conditioner and your oil and just twisting them, but you got to do it. And you got to do it daily. And that's going to help the hair. And then inside of 7 days, you got to clean, guys, because now let's get to, because it will cause problems eventually. Let's get to this weak area that the blogger was talking about. Now, the way she does it, I would see patients, they would come in and they would have these little knots on their locks. I'm like, what is this? She said, this is where my loctician repaired my lock because my lock was thinning off and it was breaking. Well, let me tell you, the reason why that happens is because the locks are weak. And the reason why the locks are weak is because you're not deep conditioning them. Just like the rest of your hair, you have to. And also, you just have to be really, really careful with that because the weight of the locks could cause it, but mainly it's because the lock itself, the strand has gotten weak. So you have to make sure that you are taking care of your locks and you're not allowing them to get weak. Okay, so here's the deal. She's saying that you keep knotting it and keep knotting it. Just go looping on the lock inside and knot it. But that's going to make a large weak spot. And then the whole lock falls off eventually. So be careful. So I recommend you not do that. Do not knot your locks, guys. And I know some of you are doing it and it's just standard to do it. But I'm telling you, it's just not a good thing. Okay, guys, so if you're just tuning in for the very first time, I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and we're having a great time here. I'm talking about hair, and like I said, I have not abandoned our group discussion. We're just going to talk about, just get these email questions out. And let me go to my email box. Let's see, we had a question here. Now, I know you guys are tuning in. I don't see any chats there. She said, somebody said they were thankful for my videos. And she wanted to thank me. She said, Miss Lisa, thank you for putting this no shampooing nonsense to rest. Or, wow. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, because there's so many people, we talked about that earlier, about the no poo. There's so many people that are still doing the no poo, guys. I know why you're doing it, but it's just not the best practice. All right. One person said, my husband has a bald spot on the top of his head, and he's and some thinning in the front. If I'm correct, you mentioned that you might be able to fill in some of the bald areas. You can fill in those bald areas depending on what it is. First thing is to find out what category you're suffering from. And the category of alopecia, there's an internal and an external. The internal category deals with something going on within the body systems. It could be drug-induced, like medication. It could be something going on with your follicle genetics. It could be, the follicle can be genetically programmed to malfunction, just stop functioning at a certain growth cycle. So it could be a number of things going on internally. With women, it could be female pattern, hormonal. With men, it could be male pattern, the production of DHT there. So it's a number of things. This is with the gentleman. So what you want for him is, because it could be external. External would mean he could have blockages around his follicle, and it could be ingrown hairs, a number of things. So what you want to do is you want to have a trichologist to do a hair and scalp examination. That way we can determine whether or not he's suffering from a form of alopecia that's external or internal. That's really, really crucial. Okay, guys, so that's really important. So that answered the question. You can call my institute or look for a trichologist in your area. I don't know if you are in my area, but you can actually call my institute at 901-380-4445. And we're here Monday through Friday. And so, excuse me, Monday through Saturday with morning and evening clinics. So you can just call and schedule an appointment for a hair and scalp analysis, and then we can find out what's going on. Next one, she says that, where can I find your services? Oops. You can find my services at 1288 Sycamore View here in Memphis, Tennessee. It's the World Trichology Institute. So I have a 12,000 square foot building, and I have the Trichology Institute, I have the Healthy Hair Group Salon, and I have the Lisa Akbari Cosmetology Institute. So I have a school in one part of the building, and then I have the hair nutrition system. So we have a lot going on within that building, but it's all about hair. And then we offer our classes too. So that's crucial for consumers as well as professionals. You can go to my website. That's the best place to find out a lot about what I'm doing. And that's lisaakbari.com, LISAAKBARI.com. Or you can call 901-380-4445. And that's 901-380-4445. Okay, someone says, okay, I think that's what we have. Those I think I've already covered. Let's see, great info. And Nikki Love said, I love you. I miss you. I miss you too, Nikki Love. It's one of my bloggers that's been around for a long time. Okay, guys, we are getting close to wrapping up the show. But if you're just tuning in for the very first time, I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. And today we've been talking about celebrity wigs and wearing locks, and where the protein and how to keep them healthy, where the protein is good. Can you be protein sensitive? So we've talked about a lot. So make sure you go on my YouTube page at Lisa Akbari on YouTube, and you can this will be archived. So if you missed the show or you want to share this with your friends, you can do that. And please remember to subscribe to my page. You can subscribe to my page. You can like me on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter. I have even Google Plus. I have some posts there, as well as Pinterest. I also post a chalkboard on Pinterest, trying to, get this word out about hair and the help. This is my way I reach out. This is one of the things I do. God has blessed me with the talent as a trichologist to really help many. So I work with professionals and consumers and individuals, helping them with their hair. So it's been a great show, and I just love talking to you guys. And I'm here. Just remember, I'm here every week, and I'll stream live one day during the week, and then I replay it again on Sunday on the radio, in the WDI studios and iHeartRadio. So you can always see me. Email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com. I'd absolutely love to hear from you guys. So this has been a great show. I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and I will see you next week right here in the WDI studios and iHeartRadio. You can call my institute at 901-380-4445 or email me. I love to hear from you. I love to hear your questions. And that email address is lisa@lisaakbari.com. Don't forget to visit my website, lisaakbari.com. And that Akbari is spelled Akbari. To God be the glory in Jesus. Have a wonderful, blessed day. And I'll see you next time right here on iHeartRadio in the WDI studios, Memphis, Tennessee, for Ask the Hair Doctor. I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari. Talk to you real soon. See you next week.